Hello and welcome to Moonpreneur Podcast, where we celebrate young minds doing incredible things with technology, creativity, and curiosity. In today's episode, we are diving into a classical game with a tech twist. Imagine playing rock, paper, scissors, not with a person, but against a tiny computer you have programmed yourself. So, our guest today did just that. Please welcome Hrehaan, who used a Microbit to code their own version of rock, paper, scissors. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Hrehaan. How have you been?
I'm really good. I'm really excited for the podcast, and I really hope, a bit nervous, but I'm otherwise really excited.
Wonderful to hear, and I'm so excited to dive into this conversation with you. So, I would want to know that what inspired you to turn a simple game like rock, paper, scissors into a microbit project?
What inspired me was this game is used so much in everyday issues, just like on the playground. Oh, there's an argument. Oh, just do rock, paper, scissors. So, turning it into a computer project was the first thing I could think of.
That's such a creative approach, Hrehaan, and taking a familiar game and giving it a tech twist shows real innovation, to be very honest. All right, so what challenges did you face while coding the program? How did you solve them, if there were any?
There were a couple of problems. One being a silly mistake. I didn't add the sleep, which the sleep presses the code so you can actually see what's going on. Otherwise, it's going in microbit time, which is milliseconds, and you can't even see it. So, if I put the sleep, we'll actually be able to see it. And so once I ran the code, I was like, why can't I see anything? And then I realized, oh, I didn't put the sleep. So then I just put the sleep in. I entered and I put the sleep in, and I think I put it for 1 second, and I think that solved the issue.
Okay, so that's amazing. Encountering and overcoming coding challenges is a big part of the learning process, and it's great to hear how you navigated through the issue and found creative and effective solutions. So, I would also want to know, how do you feel when you saw the game actually work on the microbit?
I was really happy because I spent a lot of time on this code, and I thought it would be really cool. And to see it come to life was was really fun and interesting and wonderful.
That moment when your code comes to life is truly exciting, and it's rewarding to see your efforts, result in functioning projects. That's really awesome. So, what have you learned about coding by building this project?
I've learned a lot about coding, such as using random numbers in such creative ways by creating them into actually words, just because I'm using this whole if command.
It's fantastic to see how you've applied them effectively. That's really great, cool. And if you were to teach someone else how to make this game, what's the first thing you'd tell them?
I'd tell them, keep in mind that you're making a rock, paper, scissors game. So first, what you should do is you should write everything down and try to understand the code before you actually test it out on the microbit.
It's a brilliant way to keep the process engaging and, to keep the learning going on for everybody else as well. Okay, so who's better at the game now? You or the microbit?
I think we're still tied because I don't know what the microbit's gonna choose, and I don't think the microbit knows what I'm gonna choose.
Like a fun competition, and it's great that Microbit provides a challenging opponent, making the game even more exciting. Okay, so what are your plans? What do you plan to pursue in the future?
I plan to pursue something in the field of technology, mathematics, like STEAM, and yes, that's what I plan to pursue.
Oh, your enthusiasm for electronics and coding is inspiring, and pursuing more projects and possibly venturing into robotics sounds like an exciting path ahead. So, no doubt you're gonna rock there. So, now we have questions for parents. Could you share the role you have played in supporting your child's project, and how does it feel to see them create something so innovative?
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of a programming background. I'm an electrical engineer also, so I try and help a little bit while he's thinking through how to do the code and how to sort of work through the ideas of how to actually implement the code. I like, it's great in terms of the uh, 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 different ideas with the microbit. Has a lot of features and abilities, so a lot of different ideas and things that these guys want to try out, they can always try it out. And so then this rock paper scissor game is like really interesting in the sense that you can determine, right? Okay, like, oh, I can randomly generate one of these answers, and even have a computer do basically what I can do on the playground. And hopefully that's sort of a launching pad to developing more intricate
Yeah.
game,
Mhm.
logical and calculations and whatnot, right? Which I think, as he's been working weekly on the assignments, as well as developing other projects with the microbit and the other peripherals, I think he's getting more and more involved. So that's great.
Yeah, and that's wonderful to hear. And it's so great when parents are involved and supportive of their kids' creativity. And it must be rewarding to see how Rehan took ownership of such an innovative project. And it really shows how much encouragement can make a difference.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really proud of Rayan and the effort he's been putting in on working with on all his robotics work. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so now Rehan, you can also come on the screen and sit beside your dad. Thank you, Rehan, for sharing your journey. And you were awesome with your rock, paper, scissor project with us today. And it's so inspiring to see how creativity, coding, and just a little spark of curiosity can turn everyday fun into something you can build and be proud of. So, to our listeners, if you are thinking about making your own microbit game, start simple, experiment, and have fun. Well, Rehan and parents, this has been such an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast. See you next time.